Posted by you/valuableshoe7876. I told my fiance that I don't really want to marry her anymore. My 26M fiance Sarah, 24F, and I are set to get married in 3 months. We were visiting a botanical garden yesterday when Sarah pointed out a flower called the Arabian jasmine, a little white flower with a nice scent. She said that her cousin Stephanie had those at her wedding. I asked if it was the same Stephanie that would be in attendance with her husband at our wedding, and she said it was. Sarah and Stephanie are apparently pretty close, and she started telling me about Stephanie and her husband. At one point, she told me that Stephanie had actually cheated on her husband twice before they got married, and that the second time was a couple of months before the actual wedding. Her husband never found out. I asked her why she never told Stephanie's husband what happened, and she responded by saying that it wasn't her circus, wasn't her monkeys, and that it's not that big of a deal anyway since they weren't married at the time. I've been thinking about what she said ever since. I consider cheating the ultimate, worst betrayal in a relationship. Clearly, my fiancée doesn't think so since she said her cousin cheating wasn't that big of a deal since they weren't married. Would this mean that she thinks cheating on me right now wouldn't be that big of a deal since we aren't married yet? As a man, if I got cheated on by my partner, I hope someone who knew about it would tell me. I would heavily judge anyone who knew about it, didn't tell me, let me go on to marry the person that cheated on me, and attended my wedding as if nothing was wrong. Like my fiancée did to her cousin's husband. About an hour ago, I texted my fiancée, I'm not sure if I can go forward with getting married. Let's talk in person later tonight. She's been blowing up my phone with texts and missed calls ever since. I'm just going to tell her what I've said in this post when I see her. Now on to the update. I had a conversation with my fiancée Sarah. We've decided to think things over on our own for a couple weeks and decide what we'll do next. If we do get married, we'll probably end up postponing the wedding. I found out from Sarah that her cousin Stephanie's husband, Lars, is an attending musculoskeletal radiologist at a local hospital. I texted Lars over the weekend, introduced myself as Sarah's fiancé, and asked if I could have a conversation with him on phone. We called a couple of times between Monday and yesterday. I let him know that I wasn't telling him what to do, and that I did not have any receipts, but that I just felt an obligation as a human being to inform him of something that I felt he should know. I told him what Sarah told me, about his now wife cheating 2 months before his wedding, and the name of who she did it with. When he found out, Lars went quiet for a little while and said he was shocked and devastated. It turns out that who Stephanie cheated with is a co-worker of hers that Lars had met, and that they've attended work and dinner parties together in the past. Throughout our conversation, he kept asking for details on what happened, where it occurred, why she did it, who else knew, and so forth. I unfortunately didn't have answers to most of his questions, but he still thanked me profusely for telling him what happened when no one else did. Part of why I sympathize with Lars is personal. Lars is originally from Denmark and came here for college after high school. My own Scandinavian father came here from Norway for undergrad and ended up becoming a lawyer here. He married my mom, an American woman, had me and my siblings, and provided us with the best life any husband and father could possibly provide his family. I couldn't imagine Lars doing the same for a woman who cheated on him and kept it a secret for years. I have no regrets. My fiancée, her cousin, and their family were the only family that Lars had in this country. I couldn't imagine him coming to this country for opportunity and working hard for 13 years to become a physician only to marry a disloyal wife and be deceived and betrayed by the very people he thought he could trust. I couldn't imagine living a lie like that for years, no matter how blissful the lie. Lars had a right to make an informed decision as to whether or not he wants to stay in his marriage. If Lars and Stephanie get divorced now, it would be Lars rightfully ending his own marriage based on the information he now knows, not me ending it of my own volition. Now on to the next story. Posted by you/throwawayuncle44. AITA for choosing to go on a trip with my girlfriend instead of taking care of my struggling brother's son? For context, my 24M brother Luke, 31M, his wife Emma, 28F, and their son Kyle, 4M, moved to my city last year because Emma got a new job. They would occasionally ask me to watch Kyle because I work from home with very flexible hours. I personally do not like kids at all, but I was happy to do it at the time because I wanted to help them. It was not that often, maybe once or twice every 2 weeks, and Kyle was very well behaved. Now the issue started near the end of last year when Luke decided to change careers. He was previously working remotely as well. His new job required him to go to work a lot more often and make substantially less money. This left them depending on me more and more to take care of Kyle. It went from once or twice every 2 weeks to around 3 days out of the week. To make matters worse, Kyle's behavior changed drastically. To be completely honest, I can barely stand the kid anymore, constantly running around and screaming while I'm trying to work and just overall being a little crap. My sil Emma was over the other day picking up Kyle and made some comments about getting rid of some of the dangerous furniture in my house, like tables with glass edges and stuff, so that my home is safer for their son, and made a joke about baby-proofing my house because they're planning to have a daughter. This pissed me off, but I didn't say anything. The situation hit a breaking point last Friday when I was talking about the 1.5-week-long trip I was going on with my girlfriend on the 15th. Me and my GF like to travel somewhere nice at least once a month. We could not the past couple months because of Kyle, but I promised my GF we would go somewhere exotic for Valentine's. Upon hearing this, they got pretty mad, saying who was going to take care of Kyle, that I need to stop these childish trips, and that I need to take more responsibility because I'm an uncle now. I'm not gonna lie, after hearing this I freaking snapped. I said that their demon child isn't my responsibility, and I'm not just gonna give up my life because they freaked without a condom. It got pretty obscene from there, and some horrible things were said. They left and we are no longer on speaking terms. My parents and Emma's parents are on their side and extremely angry at me for refusing to pull my weight. My parents said that this is my duty, and I should be sacrificing everything to help them. It's honestly got me really down, and I've cried my eyes pretty much every day since seeing those messages from my family. I'm starting to wonder if I really should be taking more responsibility. AITA for choosing my trips over my brother and nephew? Now on to the update. Thank you everyone for the comments. After reading through for about an hour, it kinda helped me realize how toxic my relationship is with my family. As many of you mentioned, yes, my brother is the golden child of the family, and thinking about it now, that favoritism is the main reason I wanted to move away from them so badly in the first place. I had a talk with my brother and my sil where I apologized for calling their child a demon and for the condom remark. They accepted my apology, but they did not apologize to me. Apparently, ours and my sil's parents were not just telling them but encouraging them to use me for help the whole time. I told them how exhausted and frustrated I was and how much this whole crap show has hurt me, and that I would not be watching Kyle anymore, period, and that they need to figure something else out. They did not take it well, and my sil started yelling again, and after some arguing my sil said that if I would not watch Kyle, the least I could do is pay for his daycare and help with some of our other expenses, since I have the money to zip off to a different country every month. I was honestly appalled. I would not have minded helping them out financially, but the tone of her voice as she said it was just infuriating. The only thing they heard was that I would not continue helping them. They didn't give a crap about anything else I said. I just got up and left their house without saying a word. I wanted to leave before I completely exploded again. 10 minutes after I left, my phone started buzzing with them and my parents, and I just put it on DND. I read a lot of comments saying I should go no contact, and I really did not want to have to do that, but they are very clearly not interested in respecting me as a human being, so that's it. I will not be speaking to my family until they want to genuinely apologize to me. Thanks guys.